man who has stood the test of time.
I want them thinking this guy's got a lot left in the tank. If I can leave with that, I'll be content. I can walk away. I say that, but I've been saying it for a long time. You start to hear things, people talking, he's too old, he shouldn't do this, he shouldn't do that. Well, that's up for me to decide.
I think that's the danger, that you don't know when it's time.
As we get older, even though our brain says go, our body says no. But a red light hits, all of a sudden you can't help it.
For the last few years, I've had this internal struggle of I don't want to stay too long and become a parody of myself.
Every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
People have no idea how much pain he's in physically.
You're about to put your whole legacy on the line, and you know that you have no business being in that match.
I have no doubt Mark can do anything he puts his mind to. I sometimes wonder if he knows.
You start second-guessing yourself. Is it me? Have I lost that big a step? Are you the reason why this stuff is happening?
Oh my God!
I was 2 inches away from making my wife a widow, my kids fatherless.
You guys have enough of this, please. Thank you.
All the time, sitting there just tapping on the back of his shoulder, waiting for him to turn around and say, hey, dude, it's time.
Stay healthy, man. Keep running up that road while you can.
It's really tough getting older in this business. It just comes with time. Your body's gonna break down.
Clear! You're coming in hot!
He's given his life to his business. It's hard to let go.
I'm either going to go out with a match that's fitting the Undertaker at WrestleMania, or I'm going out on my shield one way or another. I don't normally share a lot of things that are really personal, but what happened to me? You know, I used to be a tough son-bitch. What happened?
Right. You really call me Santa Claus now, right? Because I only come out once a year. That's all you need to. You look great.
Wow.
Here I am, you know, at this late point in my career, and I'm wondering, am I going to be able to hang with this young guy?
Okay.
Well, but I'll keep that. I'll keep that.
Keep it in mind. Just let one of us know, okay? And
Really?
your keys.
You really can't kayfabe 10 minutes? Bob, screw your camera guy.
I was trying to figure out, because I knew I wasn't anywhere close to being at 100%. I was trying to figure out how to make it work.
All right. Let me.
That's a huge challenge to only work once a year and to try to have timing, cardio, have your gimmick, you know. I mean, it's tough. It is. But it's my reality. I mean, that's where I'm at. At this point in my career, I can't work a full schedule. There, I said it. I love and respect this business so much. And all I ever wanted to be was I wanted to be a wrestler, you know. And would I have imagined, you know, the success of that character and the longevity? There's no way.
Look at the size of that ham hock!
I don't think I've ever been so drawn to a character so immediately. It never felt like a performance. It just felt like someone tapping into his inner self and bringing it out to the public.
It was then and is today the greatest character in the history of the business, as far as I'm concerned.
Folks, with a clothesline 360 by The Undertaker. And he is still standing.
I always thought like Frankenstein, like it was like, you couldn't do much to him.
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
He became what he envisioned The Undertaker would be.
Whoa! Uh-oh!
In every sense of the word.
Rest in peace.
Was less is more. The pace of my matches was extremely slow. And then, bang. Something really fast to like catch people off guard, like, whoa, I didn't know he could move like that. The eye roll, that just happened in a match. I think it was Greg Valentine I was working. Had him down in the corner. And
Look at that, Monsoon, he has no eyeballs.
when I came back, and everybody was like, what the hell was that?
The Undertaker walking that top rope and down.
It goes all the way back to his love of what we do and his love of performing. What he was willing to sacrifice, it was what he was willing to do.
What in the world? I've never seen that in my life.
He gave it everything he had.
Michaels, no!
He was 300 pounds and just a big son of a gun.
Good God, son! I'm choke slam!
And could move in a way and do stuff that men his size shouldn't be able to do.
There's The Undertaker! Oh my God!
People fell in love with the character. They also fell in love with Mark Calloway because they know he works so hard for them.
The Undertaker receiving a standing ovation from this jam-packed capacity crowd.
There have been a lot of men who have held that belt undeservingly, but I can say with all truth, that man deserves to be exactly where he's at.
And how fitting that it happened at WrestleMania.
WrestleMania is just, I mean, that's it. I mean, that's the creme de la creme in our industry. And for me, it's big time. I mean, it is.
You are looking at the most incredible performer in WrestleMania history.
Just happened, man. Someone brought it to my attention.
Game over! He's 10-0!
Somebody said, you know, you're undefeated at WrestleMania. I'm like, well, really? Oh, it's cool.
To me, the streak goes hand in hand with WrestleMania.
Ladies and gentlemen, the legend of The Undertaker continues to grow.
At the end of WrestleMania, that star is The Undertaker. It's his show.
If there was a totem pole, Taker was at the top of the totem pole. He was the best, he was the highest you're gonna get. I think I earned his respect that night. And to earn Taker's respect, you've arrived.
To be given that opportunity, and you knew, okay, they trust me. He trusts me with this baby.
Oh my goodness!
That is the streak.
Who would have thought that one man could make so many WrestleManias to even be able to put himself in the conversation to make that happen?
Every match was different and unique in its own way.
I am not believing this!
It became this unbelievable moment every year that you looked forward to and look forward to being a part of.
Can you say 21 and 0?
quite frankly, I mean, the streak is what made it okay for me to only work once a year, you know, because I had to defend the streak. I mean, it takes its toll. I had a 5-year stretch or so there where my schedule would be, I would prepare for Mania. I would have my Mania match. Then I would have some kind of surgery to repair whatever had been bothering me going into that match, and then go straight from rehab right into training to be ready to go into Mania again.
When Taker talks about the things that he had to do to perform, I can relate to it because I was going through the same things a lot of time in the same times of, I haven't done this, I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna do this. Everybody's expecting it to be at the level that I was at a certain level and perform like this, but I'm not in the groove, I haven't done it, can I still do it? Your mind plays games with you. By far, physically and mentally, the hardest, absolute hardest thing I've ever done in my life is that performing once or twice a year thing.
The road is what keeps you calloused. The road keeps you bruised. It keeps you in that ring shape where you're almost impervious to the bumps because you're doing it on a night in, night out basis. And he would have his 3 and 4 month camps, but that is no walk in the park because ring rust and timing is real.
Stay healthy, man. Keep running up that road. Good.
Run until the wheels fall off. The nervous system and nerves play into all that.
People have no idea how much pain he's in physically and how much pain he tolerates and how many surgeries he's had. It's just, they don't understand.
To weather through everything that he's weathered through because he loves this business speaks volumes. To sum it up, he's a tough son of a bitch.
At this point, every year, that's kind of the big issue, is it making sure that there's always enough gas in the tank. And that's kind of a product of, you know, only working the few matches that I do now. Everything that that I'm dealing with now. So, yeah, it's a kind of a crazy web I weave, trying to, you know, train effectively. And get, you know, to get the maximum results I can with what I'm working with.
This is always the most nerve-wracking workout because it's the last workout before the match. And you always fear some type of injury 2 days before the biggest match of the year. I want to stay fluid, keep the muscles elongated. Stay focused and get what you have to get done, and get out. So the 2 matches I did with Sean, I was excessively sore. The first match we had with Triple H, the one I think was in Atlanta, that was pretty brutal. That's where I got carted out. I actually had to spend
2 full days in the hotel after Mania. Got the hip repaired. The next year was pretty good. The next year was pretty good. You know, the match with Brock happened, which to this day I still don't remember.
This match is simply about one thing, the 21-0 undefeated streak of The Undertaker.
I'm not sure when I got concussed. I don't know how that match happened. I have no recollection of any of that. My last memory of that day was at about, I'd say 3:30 in the afternoon.
A third of 5 to The Undertaker! The streak is over!
Vince comes to the curtain and says, medical, get in here, somebody. And this was the first time we had any inclination that there was something wrong. And he was sitting in the walkway outside of Gorilla, and he had the happy days look on his face that he had no idea where he was at. And he looked at me and he kind of smiled and he's like, hey. And I'm like, oh boy, something went wrong here.
I mean, I was gone, man.
We decide that probably the best course of action is to take him to the emergency room. As we pull into the hospital, Carlos behind us was an SUV.
Doors open, of course the first person who's there. WrestleMania's still going on, but who's outside the ambulance? Vince. Vince and Brock. And of course, you know, Mark cusses Vince. Don't you have a show, you know, that's still going on? But Vince wouldn't have it.
And we're sitting there in a room, and he kind of looks up at us and he goes, I'm not dead, guys. Come on. And so it kind of made the room laugh a little bit, so we were able to start joking around.
You know, not to make light of it, but we joke, he was trying to cheat in the hospital. The nurses would come and say, you know, do you know your name? What's your name? And he'd go, hey babe, come here. What's my name again? He was so severely concussed that he had no idea his name. He didn't know where we were. He didn't know why we were in New Orleans. He didn't know his name until 4 a.m.
So what I think happened is between getting older and then not having, you know, all the reps and taking all the bumps through the course of the year, I mean, eventually it caught up with me. And so I think that explains what happened in New Orleans. Is I think that's why the concussion. But it's one concussion in one match destroyed my confidence. I don't even think anybody even knew, really.
I didn't know. I was nervous. He seemed like this is another day at work for him. Didn't shake him at all.
It was Triple H that really spotted it. And I'm waiting to go out, just riddled with self-doubt. Triple H came to me, and you know, he's just like, hey, remember who the f you are.
Show them who the f you are. Last year, killed his family. And I remember that being mind-blowing to me. like, this is the f***ing Undertaker. It was hard for me to contemplate that he had those doubts.
It was enough to get me through that match. Restored a little bit of my confidence.
Mark William Calloway, also known as The Undertaker. I got those answers a lot quicker this year.
Yes, you did. For him, The Undertaker was back.
What you're watching is the gunslinger back in action.
Everything that he was feeling was gone and that it wasn't there anymore for fans all went away and it was back.
Gonna take Brock for a last ride! What? Choke slam! Choke slam!
What's going on is I'm getting my confidence back. Okay, you can still do this. But what's also happening is more wear and tear.
He's not, by any stretch of the imagination, somebody that was gonna make excuses. He's not gonna say, oh, I didn't like that match, but, you know, my hip was hurting. No, his hip always hurts. Both hips always hurt.
When I got in the Rumble, I knew. I was like, what have I done?
And Roman Reigns with his eyes set on the man standing in the ring, The Undertaker.
You're about to put your whole legacy on the line, and you know that you have no business being in that match. That match should be somebody else's.
Regardless of my injuries, regardless of my age, regardless of everything that's happened, if I'm on the card, there's some young guy that's making a lot of, the shows through the year, that may not be on that card. So it's my duty to make sure that it's worth putting me on the card. No one would probably say anything to my face if I stunk it up, but I would know. And, that's one of my biggest fears, and is kind of becoming a parody of myself. I always think this way. It would kill me to know, like, some dad who watched me when he was young has to turn to his son and go, man, yeah, I mean, he's moving kind of slow now, but man, you should have seen him, you should have seen him 10, 15 years ago. That's just like, I know reality is that, yeah, I've slowed down, but still, I try to bring the best package that I can on that night. So just because like I said, it would just kill me if I was, like, yeah, you should have seen him win, and not, not what he is now.
You're looking live outside the Amway Center here in Orlando, Florida.
I love the suit! Thank you!
It is the most prestigious night of the year where we honor the legends of the past who paved the way for the WWE superstars of today.
What's up, man? Hey, you clean up well.
There has never been anyone like him.
Bruno, how are you, sir? Hey, hi, how are you? It's good to see you.
It's not just his persona, it's his presence.
How you doing, man?
You, man?
Good. It's good to see you. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Undertaker had a certain amount of respect for me for winning a gold medal at the Olympics, so we hit it off pretty quickly, and we became very close friends.
The Taker, can I have one of these, right? This XL?
Yeah.
I never forget one of the first times that I worked with Kurt. I drew back, you know, and I'm about to throw this straight right hand at him, and his face is like I hadn't even done anything yet, right? And his face is just like, I still give him crap to this day about that.
If I draw back, are you going to give me the old one?
Take the shot.
Do you remember the first?
I didn't know you were teeing me up and gonna knock me out.
There's a difference between working hard and working smart.
I'm learning that. Took me a while.
You might make it in this business, kid.
The whole locker room leader thing is nothing that I ever sought to be. It's just the way that I thought that things needed to be done for the sake of the business.
Every one of us looked at that locker room and said, that's the dude, you know, that's the benchmark right there.
Don Corleone, there's nobody that's higher ranking from a respect standpoint as Taker. He always was the guy.
I don't think I've ever been around a wrestler that has carried and earned more respect in the locker room of his peers than Mark Calloway.
I've always been proud of myself that whether people liked me or they didn't like me or they agreed with my views or not, that I stood up for what I believed in.
Taker wasn't afraid to tell you how to do it and then go out there and prove you how to do it. And I think that's the big difference. A lot of guys talk a lot of shit about how to do stuff and how to be good. Taker backed it up every night.
I'll never forget. We're in Seattle or whatever, and I'm looking through the curtain, I'm watching Taker work. Go out there and tear the house down. I went, I got no problem with him getting paid more than me. He's earning it.
People were measured by Undertaker. So he was the yardstick. And if you did well, then pretty much you were in. If you didn't, you were out, because you knew if you didn't do well, it wasn't the Undertaker's fault.
Justin Hawk Bradshaw hammering away on the Undertaker.
First match we had, 1996, it was the day after WrestleMania. I remember coming back and him just smiling. One of the most memorable moments in my career.
He was the best.
Thank you, Rick.
Theo Dizzle.
Yeah, Bo Shizzle.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you very much.
So happy for you.
Thank you.
I think he's the greatest performer that's ever been in the history of this business. I don't think there's anybody greater. I don't think there's anybody who had more impact, bigger matches, and a longer career, and been more of a professional than The Undertaker.
You ready?
Bro, I'm one good shot away from one good match.
Get out of here.
But I can tell you this, from having seen him for almost 30 years, I've never seen him physically in worse shape than he was before WrestleMania.
Every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
Ain't nothing wrong with
Don Corleone over here. He starts at about 5 months out. How you feeling?
Give you time, huh?
I'm like, well, I feel like you know that. I felt like last year.
I have no doubt Mark can do anything he puts his mind to.
It's like a convention of old timers.
Yeah. We're waiting for the head honcho.
Head honcho. All right.
Waiting for you to call this meeting to order for everything.
Touche. All right.
I sometimes wonder if he knows anymore.
Question is, how you doing?
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out in a couple days.
I think that's the danger, is that you don't know sometimes. You know, you see Brett Favre, and he's playing for the Vikings, and he still shows that throw into the end zone last second. It's still there. It just might not be there as much. So when is the time? You know, and is it fair for anyone to tell that person when it's time with that kind of career behind them? They have carte blanche to say when it's time. Therein lies the difficulty.
That's all right, man. Smoke and mirrors, brother. That's all I've lasted this long.
Dude, good luck Sunday.
Thanks, man.
He's Undertaker to everyone. So that is an expectation that you almost have to live up to, you know, in people's eyes.
How you doing, boss?
You never met my wife, have you, man?
I haven't. I saw the babies.
Did you?
Oh, my God. Look, that one, this one right here. This one right here. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. This one's on baby radar at all time, and she saw the twins.
She got the fever?
It was like, oh my.
She got the fever?
Bro. You think I'm still working?
Though, you know what I mean?
I try to. Well,
that's a line I tell her at least.
I'm more over the practicing. I just, it's the game time stuff that I'm getting a little old for.
It was always really easy and easy to talk to him, you know what I mean? And as much as I could pick his brain for work stuff, it's nice to hear real life stuff and just his experiences and how he carries himself, because everything that I've done, he's already done it, 10 times, and he's seen all the places that I'm gonna go or I've already been.
Back in the day,
there's like a Rolodex and like a huge filing cabinet of just experience that he has.
Years ago, the first time when we worked at the Astrodome.
It's always nice to be able to do that with him, and I was happy that my wife was able to sit there and, hear a couple of his stories and get to talk to him and stuff.
I tend to, if I think too much about it too soon, then I think about it too much.
It's also cool because we knew we were about to go do some business, like the biggest business, of my career. This is the part where it's weird, you know what I mean? This is the hindsight, pinch me, it doesn't feel real. I'm like, am I still sleeping? This is my yard now. I'm gonna be able to share the ring with The Undertaker. I'm gonna live with this for the rest of my life. The best way to sum it up, it's just a great honor, but it was a responsibility too, you know what I mean? I had faith in myself, but at the same time, you just wanna do right by Taker. For the past 25 years, regardless if it was 20 people watching or 20,000 people watching, in the tiniest of towns on a Friday or a Sunday or on the biggest stage of them all, he had to be The Undertaker. He's got that responsibility to be this person, this character, this role model. It only takes that one person to be like, that's not The Undertaker. In order to be as successful as him and to get to that point in your career, you have to take every single day like it's a WrestleMania. And that's the hardest part. He is that guy. And it's just the ultimate respect.
We're good. We're gonna tear it up.
I appreciate it, man.
Thanks, man.
Thank you so much.
Yep. There's a little bit of pressure, but that's what separates being good and great and being a legend.
You go faster if you want to do the slow one. I think you did this at 29.
Yeah, you know what I think of it because we just need a couple little tweaks here and there that I feel like suit my character. It's really the beginning of where I start putting in the laser focus. The mental imagery really starts to kick in, what you want to get accomplished, how you want to get it accomplished. For me, move enough that I'm not stiff. I'm happy with it.
All right, do you want to go this way or come up and go down?
I'll go this way.
Okay, cool.
Don't get much cooler than that, does it? This is the quiet before the storm. So.
This morning always seems to start excessively early. I don't need to be awake yet, but I'm already laying there staring at the ceiling, running things through my mind. And kind of get your confidence flowing, your swagger. Obviously, at the end of the night, I want people leaving that stadium talking about the Roman Reigns Undertaker match. I think that's probably what I worry most about, making sure that the people are getting what they pay to see. They say fighters can grow old in one fight, so, yeah.
Hopefully this isn't that fight.
What's up, buddy? I'm good, man. Good. How are you?
Great to see you. What's up, Jake? How you doing,
What's up?
man?
Good, man.
All right?
Hey, brother. What's up?
Doing very well.
Good. I'm hanging in there.
When he walks in, he has this presence, and everyone knows that he's there. Even if you don't see him somehow, you just know. A lot of us younger guys, you know, we get excited, but he has this ultimate calmness about himself, and you just sit silently, you know, like waiting for what he's gonna say.
Chicks dig scars.
You blind ones do. Blind chicks love scars. It's great.
I love you, man. Have some fun out there. Be safe. And I'll see you on the other side.
All right, man.
I'll find the trainers room. I haven't run into them yet. I'll let you know where they're at, too.
Yeah, that's definitely need to do with that. Hey, brother. You okay? Yeah, I'm good. Thanks.
Knock them dead tonight.
Thank you, brother.
You guys on last tonight?
I think so, yeah.
Like midnight or something?
Yeah.
The Undertaker is never on camera. He doesn't do podcasts. So when I saw him being followed around by a camera crew, I was like, oh, is this documenting the last weekend of The Undertaker's career?
That ran. Have you been out there yet?
I'm just going out there right now. It's pretty long, right? It's long.
Yeah. Have you not seen it?
No. Longer than ever?
It's 80 yards.
80 yards?
Yeah.
I think the last thing anybody wants to do is become a caricature of themselves. So whatever pains he was feeling, he grit his teeth and said, screw it. I got to go out there and be The Undertaker. And if it's the last time, I got to leave him wanting more.
He's the toughest guy ever. He's battle tested. And that guy has gone through everything. As we get older, even though our brain says go, our body says no. But that red light hits and all of a sudden you can't help it.
People say, all you got to do is go out and choke slam somebody, make your entrance, and everybody's going to be happy. No, I'm not going to be happy. Like when I say, you know, and this is not just stupid man pride or, you know, cliche stuff. I'm either going to go out with a match that's befitting the Undertaker at WrestleMania, or I'm going out on my shield one way or another.
Tonight, win, lose, or draw, it's going to be tough not to be emotional because we don't know when it's going to be the last time. And I don't care what Roman Reigns does over the next 20 years, this will be the biggest match Roman Reigns will ever have.
There's a real pressure. If this is the last one, you know what I mean, and I'm his last opponent, like, it's a little weird to think about it, you know what I mean? For him to crescendo probably the greatest career of all time, especially at WrestleMania, and for me to be his opponent and give him the last ride that he deserves, it's surreal.
There's not many situations that I can't figure out how to make it work within the wrestling industry. And instead of being able to be creative and focus on the match, I'm having to figure out, okay, how am I going to sell this? And how am I going to get up and do this? And how am I going to do that? When all that starts feeding, it immediately breaks down the whole process.
I think there were a lot of emotions going on that day. Mark always puts the pressure on himself. He knows that he wants to go out there and deliver for the fans. He knows he wants to go out there and deliver for Vince. And he knows he wants to go out there and deliver for himself.
With me, it's business. The business comes first and foremost. That's why we're here. Our job is to go out and be first-class professional entertainers and to give our fans what they paid their hard-earned money to see. I come from an era of, if you can walk to the ring, you go to the ring and work.
Look at this! Oh, my!
Taker will go out there and deliver every night. I've seen him go out there with 103-degree fever, need an IV drip as soon as he got to Gorilla because it was coming out of both ends, and he still went out there for 20 minutes and tore the house down. He set the bar for what being a WWE superstar is about.
He's literally been called on fire on the way to a chamber match. Stood in the pod pouring water on himself for 20 minutes before he went out and wrestled for 30 more minutes with second-degree burn. Like, he literally does not make excuses.
We never had a guy that was more reliable than Taker. He's a tough, physical son of a bitch. He really, truly is.
I knew he was hurting when we were touring the country and the world and having some pretty epic matches. I left the cell match in much worse shape. He had actually entered that match with a broken foot. They don't come any tougher than The Undertaker.
The Undertaker through a table!
Don't embarrass yourself. Don't embarrass the company. Don't embarrass Vince. It's just the way that I thought that things needed to be done for the sake of the business. The process has become bigger and bigger each year to get me to a place where I can go out and deliver that performance.
Just keep moving it. Try to do that in a little bit of this.
If you stay around as long as I have, that your body's going to break down at some point, and my body was at the limit of what it could take.
Bend up and down a bunch.
Nice stop.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. Yeah, it's numb.
Difference?
Yeah, it's definitely taking the edge off of it. Good.
Stay there.
And the hip too?
Yeah.
I can tell you for certain, after all these years and all these WrestleManias, there's not one time that I have not been extremely nervous or had that feeling in my stomach before I go out.
The greatest performer in WrestleMania history, 23-1, the Phenom The Undertaker versus the Roman Empire of Roman Reigns.
It is hard to even describe all the emotions that you go through, all the jitters, the concerns. Am I ready? I mean, it's just, it's big time.
One of the most controversial figures perhaps in WWE history, Roman Reigns.
This is a magnificent athlete, and he's got so much to gain here tonight with a victory over the dead man at WrestleMania.
Tell you, you may have never seen Babe Ruth walk into Yankee Stadium or Joe Montana walk into Candlestick, but you're seeing The Undertaker at WrestleMania. And believe me, that is a bucket list right there. He's the greatest performer in WrestleMania history.
The bell sounds, we're ready to go, and remember, it's no holds barred. This one will not be for the weak at heart. Whose body will fail them first?
You heard it right there. Here we go. Got a little snake eyes. Watch out.
God, what a right hand.
Uh-oh, this is not good. Get out of the way, guys. When there's blood in the water, it's a great white right there.
Undertaker signaling the end is near. Oh my God! With a spear! Right through the heart of the Undertaker.
You want to find out, Roman? The Undertaker has got some devilish imagination. Good night. Whose yard is it now?
Reigns has taken a tombstone pile driver and has survived. Oh, look out. Oh, Reigns trying to overpower the Undertaker. And Undertaker trying to counter, get his legs up.
Trying to go for something like his own tombstone pile driver or something. Oh!
Man, what a Superman punch. It connected.
Stay down. Stay down. The Undertaker keeps getting up.
The Undertaker's alive! And Reigns must be thinking, what the hell do I have to do to beat this legend? Will this do it? No, it won't do it! That is part of the Undertaker.
Roman Reigns is going to have to put the Phenom down. Legends go out on their own shield, and they go out on their own terms. You almost got the impression that Roman Reigns didn't want to put the Undertaker away. The Undertaker emptied everything in his arsenal, maybe everything in his soul.
I could even fathom what it truly meant to him. It didn't matter if he stopped tonight or if he would have stopped 10 years ago. He's left his mark in the ring. He's been a legend for quite some time. So symbolic, him leaving everything out there was kind of like turning into my husband. He's turning into Mark Calloway. And yeah, he wasn't afraid to kind of be vulnerable. Come and give me a kiss and check on the kids, you know, and that kind of told us, you know, I've heard it before that I'm done, but that really said, this is it.
It's kind of surreal, I guess, right now. It's 30 plus years of my life, just, you know, it's what I've done.
How you feeling? How do I feel? Like I had the hell beat out of me, not run the whole thing.
Obviously, this is going to take some getting used to. And I'll laugh if there's not going to be times where, you know, where I'm watching the show and thinking like, you know what, I think I still got enough left in the tank to do something, but I don't know.
Nice. Pull that out.
Oh.
Well, why did you come to me? I was waiting for you in my place. No,
I tried. I got as close as...
Everybody got out of there.
I tried as close as I could get. I got as close as I could get.
Right now, I'm pretty content riding off into the sunset and see what, you know, we'll see what tomorrow brings.
I just want to say thank you.
All right, you happy?
I'm very happy.
All right.
Okay.
That's all that matters.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Always ribbon, right? You got to slap me in the back.
Mark had so many operations and things of that nature, but always came back to what he loved and always had that sense of responsibility.
Thank you, guys.
I'll call you, boss. Thank you.
Great.
Mark once told me, he said, look, if we ever get to a situation whereby I just, you know, I'm going out there and I can't do what I'm supposed to do, tell me. I think that most everyone could sense that he was trying, but he wasn't there. And he knew in his heart that it wasn't there.
I was so disappointed in my performance. And the fact that I let myself do that. The problem was my body was at the limit.
The plan is to resurface your hip.
If he thinks Vince needs him, he's in.
I need redemption. That's the driving force to prove to the world who I am and what I do.